Hey, what's going on YouTube? We're back with another Borderlands video, and today we're going to be talking about the idea of should Handsome Jack come back as the villain in Borderlands 3. So, it's pretty much a very hotly contested topic. Some people love Jack so much they want him back. Other people say, you know, he's been in the game for so long, we've killed him twice now, depending on your choices, and, you know, just let him be done, let him be dusted, and let's move on to something that has the opportunity to be bigger and better. I mean, Jack is a great villain. It's going to be tough to top him. We all know that, but who's to say that Gearbox can't strike lightning twice in the same place? It's possible, and I want to see them try. I really do. So, in today's video, we're going to be exploring that idea, and let's just get into it, man. So, we'll start off with the case of having Handsome Jack still being alive, and he's once again going to be the villain for Borderlands 3. So, for starters, we know Jack has body doubles. Now, what's that mean? That means that there's a chance that at the end of Borderlands 2, it wasn't Jack, it was a body double. Why would this be the case? I really have a very hard time believing this because this was a huge moment, right? A huge, huge moment for Jack that he's been pursuing for a long time. The warrior's here. It's time to do it. He's there. He's got Lilith. He's got the key. It's all about to happen. He's going to control the warrior and cleanse Pandora and just get rid of all the bandits so he can finally pursue his plan. Why would he send a body double? I have a really hard time believing that he would do that. You know, he's the type of person that would want to be there and control the warrior. So for me, there's no part of me that can buy into any of the theories that, you know, maybe Timothy was there or another body double and then Jack was hanging out. Because on one hand, you have Jack who could go and risk his life, and then if, like we saw, Jack actually died, then he dies. But on the other hand, he sends a body double and they fail, he's going to be kicking himself for the rest of forever because he wasn't there to do it right. So why would that happen? So before the little tangent, we obviously know about the body double, so that's an extremely easy cop-out for Gearbox if they want to bring back Jack once again. They can just say like, oh, yada yada. It would be well written. You know, it wouldn't be just some goofy shit where they're just like, yeah, you know, it was the cheap thing. No, they would figure out a way it made sense to bring him back. It might not make fans happy, but it wouldn't be half-baked. At least I sure hope it wouldn't be half-baked. Again, Jack is a great villain. We know that. He's a damn good character. Damian Clark played the shit out of him, absolutely nailed the role. And personally, I believe that Jack deserves a place among the best villains out there. He really is memorable. He really makes the series that much better. We know that he does. So, you know, will it hurt the series if Jack comes back? That's a hard question to answer because if they come up with this wild reason that he's back and it actually makes sense and all the plot holes are nice and plugged up and they do a good job, then, you know, maybe it doesn't hurt the series. Maybe it is like, wow, I didn't originally want Jack back, but they fucking nailed it. So we don't know at this point, but what I will say is I'm a big Batman fan. I watched Batman as a kid. I love the Arkham games. I remember, you know, I've pretty much seen all the Batman movies. Some are better than others, but that's neither here nor there. But my point is, who always comes back in the Batman universe? Who's usually behind the shit? Oftentimes, the Joker. And I don't feel like it hurts the Batman universe much at all because Joker is fantastic. I don't think that we're having as critical conversations about it in Batman or in the Batman universe's defense, but maybe Jack could potentially be like the Joker where he comes back time and time again and it works. We don't know, but Jack is a user. He's an abuser. He manipulates people just too well. It's scary how good he is at it. And he's also likable when he's not scooping out eyeballs with a spoon and shooting, you know, kids and women and just being terrible, torturing people. He's a good character. A lot of people like him for a reason, and I totally get it. So, you know, it's gonna sting not having Jack. It really will, but, you know, I could see Gearbox having a tough time letting go, and maybe they have, maybe they haven't. So, you know, we could boot up Borderlands 3 and Jack's still there, or he might not still, or he might be gone rather. But, you know, there's a case for both. Whether or not you believe one or the other is on you. Personally, I believe the other way, so let's get into that. All right, so we're moving on to the case of Handsome Jack actually being gone. So against his return, that means he's not coming back. So we know the dude's damn near been the center of attention the whole series. We know he plays a large part in Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel. He was in Tales from the Borderlands quite a bit. And we found out that he actually orchestrated what had happened in the original Borderlands game to try and utilize the Destroyer, but his plan was foiled when the Vault Hunter actually killed the Destroyer. So, you know, that's pretty much what we know and what Jack's been involved in. So that's a huge portion of the game, and he's also dead as far as we know. Not once, but twice. The actual Jack and the digital Jack. To have him come back for a third time just seems really greedy. It seems like they couldn't come up with a good idea. There's a lot of stuff that's pointing me into a direction that's like, seems like maybe, you know, Gearbox doesn't know where to take the series. That if Jack was back, I feel like I might be more confused, more worried about the overall quality of the game. So again, we also know that Jack was, you know, romping around the digital world in Tales from the Borderlands, and he ended up in Reese's head, but that was taken care of. So, you know, we wouldn't know what's going on, right? So we've played Borderlands 2, we've played Tales, maybe we haven't played one or the other, but we know about Borderlands. So based off of what we have experienced up until this point, we have to assume Jack's gone. Unless there was definitive proof otherwise, we have to assume he's gone. I love the character a lot, don't get me wrong. And even if his time is done, which I think it should be done, he shouldn't be absent from the next game. Now, hear me out. I'm not saying he should be, you know, primary antagonist, Mr. Villain #1. No, I think if he came back in the next game, in the course of like maybe a couple missions, an Easter egg, maybe, you know, we find some echoes, maybe shit, I don't know, we can get like the gun that killed Roland or something. This is just me spitballing. Like if you look at Borderlands 2 with TK Baja, you have the Uncle Teddy mission. Something like that could work for Jack, where he's gone, but we can still learn some more about him. Or maybe we can find some hidden Hyperion items or something like that. That would be really cool. So, you know, my point is there's a lot of, maybe not a lot, but there's examples in the series. Sledge, for example. Sledge was a boss fight in Borderlands 1 who had a minor role. His shotgun's still in the game, and his hammer, as of Borderlands 2, was still being used by Brick. So, you know, they can definitely do something like that to pay tribute to an awesome villain in Handsome Jack without having him be back in the next game. So I think that would be, in my eyes, the best case scenario. Something to, you know, say, you know, Jack's great. We really like him. We don't want you to forget about him, but we're not at the point where we're going to just continuously put him in every game and milk him. Not to say that that would be what is happening, but you have to, even if you're on the side of having Jack back, you have to be in a position where you're like, all right, you know, he's like a cockroach. How many lives does he get? He's not a cat. He doesn't get 9. He's not a cockroach. He can't survive dying twice, once in real life, once in the digital, you know, world, or whatever you want to reference it to. So, you know, it just gets to a point where it's like, kind of enough is enough. So a few closing thoughts here. Obviously, this conversation would not pertain to any sort of prequel. So if we got something that had to deal with a time where Jack was still alive, similar to the pre-sequel, I think that would be a terrible move for the series personally. But, you know, this obviously doesn't apply to that, because if it comes into a time frame where Jack's still around, then you can't go, all right, well, Jack can't be in the next game, because if the chronological order supports it and Jack's not there, then that's really odd just in the Borderlands universe. So, of course, I don't think that's going to be the case. Randy Pitchford has alluded to Tina being older in the next game, so if it was a prequel or a pre-sequel to, or whatever you want to call it, it just wouldn't make any sense. Wait, so Tina's older in the next game, but we're going a little bit back in time in the chronological order? That's my, big piece of evidence as to why I just don't see that happening. And I really don't think Jack's going to be back, but I'll leave you with this. Do you think Handsome Jack's still around kicking and coming back for vengeance in a big way in Borderlands 3? Do you want it? Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. If you guys liked the video, go ahead and leave a like. If you got something to say, drop a comment. You can answer the questions I had for you, and I will see you in another video shortly. Later.